Hello, everybody. And once again, we've been deleted from Facebook. So, Tom, start the intros while I fix this.
Okay, everybody, welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday. I'm your not host, Tom Mason. I'm here because Roland's having computer trouble again, which is my favorite part of the show. Joining us tonight is that man on the mask guy, Mike W. Belcher. Hi, Mike.
Howdy, everybody.
Also joining us is Human Color Supreme, Roberta Conroy. Say hi, Roberta.
Hello.
You'll notice Mike is in a new space today, but it's in the same house.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I haven't been kicked out, so
no, that's right.
Just moving around.
It's not forced dad in the studio
blinds
apartment.
looks better, Mike.
Huh?
Shutting the blinds looks better. You had
I think I lit it up
way too
better
much backlight on you.
Yeah, that backlight was killing me.
All right.
Of course, it's not that bad of a curse to not see me, so you know.
And Roland, are you ready? Should I turn the show over to you, or should I keep going?
We're ready now. Welcome, Facebook. You joined us live, so glad you could join us. I don't know what it is. So short version of it is you establish the show, right? You go in and you build a show. You say, hey, we're going to have a live show. I want it to go here, 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 and here. And you pick the date, you give it a title, and you hit save, right? It's not that hard to do. So StreamYard is connected to all of these platforms. We have to go in and actually connect them. We got to connect them to Twitter, to Facebook, to YouTube, et cetera, et cetera. But for some reason, and I do that with all of them. But for some reason, when we launch, it says your show has been deleted on Facebook. It's like, but why?
I say inflammatory things.
So what I have to do is go in and literally delete the stream on Facebook and then re-add it, because you can add things to, like you guys probably know Mike. While we're going, I don't see that Mike has added it yet, but Mike has been adding the stream to his feed, right? So you can add them while you're going. There it is. I see it added now.
Just now.
And so welcome Mike's feed. So anyway, that's what I have to do to get
it. Sounds terrible, Roland. I don't know how you get through it.
Behind the curtain.
Sometimes it takes longer than it does other times. So sometimes Facebook doesn't want to play. And I don't know. My wife has told me multiple times, she goes, you need to take that down.
It's funny how it only happens when you go live. Like you don't have the warnings,
What if you didn't? What if you didn't put it in advance and just put it in when you started?
Well, so we could absolutely do that, but one of the things that's the advantage of building it is if you go on to the Silverline page, you'll see Silverline plans to go live on this day.
You'll lose that promotional thing.
You lose that promotional thing, yeah. And so
I'm out of ideas then.
We have that. I don't think it doesn't do it on Twitch, but it does that on both Facebook and on YouTube. It has an image there that says we plan to go live at this time and this date. So, and that wouldn't be there. So we wouldn't. I mean,
well, on your Facebook page, you usually go right in. Usually, it's odd for it to delete.
I can't explain it other than it's the Book of Face doing the Book of Face stuff.
And aren't I too old to be on Twitch? Won't they just scratch my face out and just say?
I said Twitch. I meant Twitter.
Oh, okay.
We are on Twitch. We are on.
Where I thought.
Yeah. We're on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So
welcome all you 13-year-olds.
Yeah. Okay, so there's that. Anybody have any news before we get personal news before we get
no, but what
started?
Are we talking about tonight?
Big news.
Up ahead. Tonight is our annual shop talk.
I have personal news.
Monthly. So I meant to say monthly, but it slipped and I said annual. All right, Tom. What's your news, Tom?
What's up, Tom?
What's your news?
So my Secret Wars book about Jim Shooter's 1984 miniseries Secret Wars,
yes,
has been printed, and I'm going to get advance copies sometime in the next week. So maybe by showtime next week, I will have a copy to wave around.
Oh, that would be great if it gets there in time for San Diego. You could take it and show it around San Diego.
I told him they're sending it to Dave Olbrich's house. He's going to hold it for me until I get there for San Diego. So
Yay.
I just sent you a package care of Dave too. So
excellent. Yeah, so it's going to be like Christmas at Dave's house.
yeah,
He's gonna be like, oh, it's not.
But I love it because
yeah, that's what he's gonna say. Yeah. Oh, this is not my
we all
package.
know the thing that I love the most is opening up that box and getting that new book smell.
I know, right?
I've been chasing that high since I was a teenager.
You know, my students will ask me, does it ever get old? And I tell them, no, it never does. I don't care if you've had 100 books printed, that when you get a new book that you've worked on, you go, oh, look at it, it's so cool. I worked on this. It never gets old.
The one thing I miss about the digital age is I miss the package of original art coming in from FedEx.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And opening it up and taking out the full size 11 by 17 boards.
Yeah.
And just looking at the original art in its original size and seeing the sketch lines underneath the art and feeling the ink line and see how it dug into the paper.
Trying to guess what brand of cigarette they smoked.
Yeah, it's because because you can when you open some of those packages, holy cow!
Yeah,
yeah. I know.
You knew it was a heavy deadline week. Yeah,
that's right.
Really I'm sure. Yeah, I mean,
I smell cigarettes and coffee in this package.
Yeah. Got a few comments here already. Matt likes comics. Hey, Matt. Says, hey
Matt.
Everybody. Thanks for
Hello.
hanging out with us, Matt. Always good to see you. Pops is here. Pops says, hey, yo. Always can rely on Pops. Take care of us. Ken B. KJV says, happy Sunday, homies and homiettes. What's up,
Ken B has got to be a great name for a children's book character, right?
Ken B, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you, Ken, as always. Pop says, sorry I was live and did not get you on Peeled or Rumble. I'll replay them there later. Thanks, Pops. As I just said,
I never know what is Peeled. I've never heard of Peeled.
You never heard of? I've heard of it. I just it's one of those.
Isn't it?
You got to do it.
It's the Matrix thing, right? It's red pill. It's some kind of Matrix reference.
I would think so. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know.
But I know it's a video thing.
Maybe one of our fans from Twitch can tell us.
Yeah.
Here we go. Pop says Peeled.net. It's a totally free speech platform.
Thank you, Pops. I
go.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
What if I want my speech censored, though? Where do I go for that?
Do whatever we want there.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. You want to be censored? Just go to YouTube. We've experienced that. I know. We experienced that on accident because of Barb. It's so funny. Pop says, my mom just pulled out a comic of the first comic I was drawn into. Almost forgot about it with everything I have done since.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that is very cool. Yeah, what was that comic, Pops? Drop it here so we can get a mad rush on the back issues.
That's right. And then we're going to tell Overstreet.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Special Pop appearance.
Pop says on Peeled we play movies, music, and all of it, so you don't get censored. Here he goes. The name of the comic is Mojo Risen Outlaw Studios.
Mr. Mojo Rising.
That's the Doors, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, Jim Morrison's a poet.
And he knew it.
Know it.
Oh, he did know.
Didn't
He
know
knew
it.
it. He knew it.
Tom, that's great news. That's fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to it. Anybody that has listened to us talk much about comics and editing and things like that here knows that I never worked directly with Jim Shooter, and I know the stories that follow him, but I'm a fan of the stuff that he did and the work that he did. Never worked for him, so all of you saying, "Hey, he's a tyrant," I don't know that. I didn't work for him.
So I've met him twice.
Yep.
Once when I was little, and once when I was big.
Really?
And,
Okay.
And the thing about him is that there's almost like there's two shooters. Like you hear a lot of stories about how he was super kind, he was generous with his time, he was nice to talk to, he was a good interviewer, whatever. And then there's people who are like on the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
So it's like that somebody will write the definitive biography of Jim.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, Mr. Shooter, and it will be well worth reading.
I think from what I have put together in my very informal data gathering is I've never really heard a fan say that that he was bad, but I have heard creators say that they didn't like working with him. Pops, are you here to say something? Uh-oh.
I'm like, why am I out there talking in the chat trying to tell you about this? When
you got to show us.
Oh, there,
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, wow. That's cool.
Look at that.
Mojo Risen. That's a
Wait,
love
so
the
that's
cover.
not you, though.
No, that's not me, but that was
You're in there somewhere.
Yeah, where are you? I like that T-shirt, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Why, thank you. Let's see. Come on. Where do I make my there's my first appearance.
Awesome.
Okay?
Oh,
That's totally
great.
your,
Pops
and your
VC.
name's on your shirt. That's so great.
Oh, you're in more than once.
I'm in
Oh,
here a
that's
whole bunch
nice.
after that. See, I mean,
That's cool.
but this is hold up. I'll show you the coolest one.
He gets beheaded.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
yeah, that's great.
I'm armed up and ready to fight. Yeah. Raj Mahan and Greg Harms were the ones that did that one. You can take me off the full screen.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for
yeah,
sharing, Pops.
That was the first comic book I really got seriously involved in promoting and stuff way back in the beginning of this madness mess. And I had forgotten I sent Mom a copy. Because I was all proud of myself. Look, Mom made a comic. Right? And then she pulled it out on me, and I've almost forgotten because we've done so much since then.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
You should never forget your first.
I was about to say that. You shouldn't forget your first.
No.
well, you don't forget it, but there's been so many firsts since then with the network, with building, with a Roku channel. It's like, you know, I mean, I'm ticking them off, man. It gets
You're
hard.
going to need a checklist trading card.
It just gets hard to remember everything we've been through the last 6 years, you know. And now I don't know if y'all noticed, but we got a new backdrop.
I saw that.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm in Michigan, or I'm not in Michigan anymore.
I was gonna say you're out in the Southwest now, aren't you?
Yeah, I had to come out here to New Mexico to take care of Mom and let Mom take care of me.
That's right.
Mhm.
So she's got something to do to keep her
That's right.
Yeah.
focused and everything.
So she's looking through your back issue bins. She's looking through your back issue bins.
Well, I don't have a lot of comics here yet. I'm waiting for the truck to get here with all my stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Count your
why I'm
boxes.
all full beard and everything. I ain't got my clippers. I ain't got nothing here yet. Right. So, but yeah, already look, Comcast was here the next day hooking me up.
Nice.
So you're set.
Who ever heard of Comcast coming out the next day?
I don't know how they got their
You might
act
be the
together,
only
but
one.
they have.
Well, this is what happened. I'm talking to the lady, and she's trying to get a hold of the labor dispatcher to set it up. And he wouldn't call her back or email her back or whatever. So she just set it up herself. She said, "Is tomorrow okay?" So if that guy would have responded, I probably would have waited 2 weeks.
Yeah.
know? But because she got sick of waiting for him, she just set it up herself, and they were here the next day, and that was sweet.
That's
Nice
nice. Yeah.
Mom's Wi-Fi was horrible.
Yeah.
She didn't need much, I bet.
That's
Well,
right.
No, she didn't. But she pays more for that than we pay for the Comcast.
Yeah.
We're getting rid of
Yeah.
that. We're getting rid of that.
Yeah.
You know, somebody took advantage of a little old lady and sold her up.
They do that all
Yeah.
the time.
You know.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, I'm here. She's happy. She's got somebody to talk to. She's not lonely anymore. I'm happy because I know she's got somebody and she's focused again. So,
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
but yeah,
Excellent.
Well, and it's good, and the good thing is that you're able to do that because not
Yeah.
everyone could do that, but
Mhm.
you're
Right,
able to do
right.
that, and I think that's a blessing.
well, it all kind of worked out.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, but I had to plan a cross country move in 10 days.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Move in 10
Oh,
days.
wow.
You
10
know,
days.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we had this planned for months or anything. It was like I found out a couple weeks ago her condition. I'm like, okay, I gotta go. Started packing stuff up. I mean,
Yeah.
that's that's all I could do, right? So I'm here, and hopefully my stuff won't be too far behind. And because all my gear, my mic and everything, I'm using the laptop mic and
I can tell the difference in your
because that's all I
sound.
got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully all my gear will get here and everything go back to normal.
The Madness Madhouse.
That's right.
We do
That's
our
right.
best.
It's just a bump in the road.
Yeah, you know me. I go over the speed bumps. I high center my rear wheels up on there, floor it, and just burn off of them. You know,
Jump with the occasional one, right?
only if there's somebody out there laying in the road, then we jump.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for letting me pop in. Don't forget, we
Absolutely.
did this. Yeah,
Cool.
Houston Dave, by the way, Pop says nice, very cool.
yeah. Also, Matt likes comics. I got to hang out with Jim Shooter at Hall of Heroes Comic Con a couple of years ago before he passed. He was a guest there, and I had my press passes, so I actually got to spend some time with him. And the coolest thing was later in the day, I was sitting there talking to Alan Stewart, the guy who runs Hall of Heroes, and Kelly from Buy Me Toys, the big comic book store in that area, right? And they were talking to Jim because Buy Me Toys had sponsored his appearance there and paid for everybody's signature. You could go get anything signed. It didn't cost money.
Wow.
They had paid Jim just to come make that appearance and sign, right? So I'm standing there with Alan and Jim and Kelly, and they're talking about their secret future plans. And Jim kind of looks at me because I'm sitting there with a press pass on, right? And he's like, hey, and Alan and Kelly both went, nah, don't worry, Pops is cool. I don't never give up nothing, right? I mean, as much as you like to scoop something, unless you have permission,
Right.
shut up.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, you
That's
shouldn't
Honor.
get news by just listening to people.
No.
It was cool just being included in the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last thing I was going to do is go run out and blab online about it. And they were talking about their secret plans. It was cool that they included me in the conversation. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, I was pretty well accepted, you know, from
That's what
the
you just-
local area up there. And I'm hoping I get accepted down here. There's a lot more to do.
It's where you take your
Yeah.
press pass and you just turn it over to the other side.
That's right. You
Well,
just
see,
flip it.
now I've already talked to the people at Albuquerque Comic Con. They're going to give me a press pass. I get to start all over again, ground floor,
Sweet.
you know, but there's more comic book stores.
I was going to say that's a
There's
pretty decent
more
show
cons,
out there.
There's
Mhm.
more I could do here in the city than I
Yeah.
could do out in the boonies in South Michigan. Right.
I think
So,
I think Polito that's Polito's show, isn't it?
well, his is in he's Phoenix or Tucson is his.
okay,
Yeah,
all right,
the
all right.
Phoenix
Yeah.
show is good
Yeah.
too.
It's all out
Also-
west to me, right?
But I mean, all these, right?
It's in the
I
hot
used to live in
states.
Phoenix.
Right,
I didn't
yeah.
know Brian then. I know Brian now. So
Right.
when I roll back into Phoenix, I get to go hang out with him, right?
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Yeah.
there's so much that I can do here that I couldn't do, like I said, out in the boonies in Michigan.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm really looking forward to the,
Well, Brian's an old Malibu guy, so
The
we'll
growth.
bring that up when you see him.
yeah. It's all, you know, I mean, there's.
Tell him
there's so
Tom
much
said
more,
hi.
but
There you
there's
go.
just a lot more. So
Yeah.
I get to do more, and that'll help growth for the net.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
Well, good
with
luck
that,
to you
guys, I'll
there.
let you go back to your show.
Good luck, Pops. Take care.
Okay.
I ain't been able to be online really in a couple of weeks, so I wanted to say
You missed it, right?
we do have some scheduling changes coming up. Some shows are changing times and stuff. We'll be updating the website here real soon, and you'll be able
Yeah.
to see all the new lineup. But
Cool.
We got some new stuff. Lulu B is bringing her show up in here. We got some stuff. I think Ryan's going to start doing and I quote recorded episode in the future on the network.
Cool.
So we're going to keep growing,
Yeah.
do what we do, right?
Cool.
Mhm.
I like Ryan. Ryan's talked to a whole bunch of us.
Yeah.
So,
Ryan's
yeah.
awesome, dude.
Not
Absolutely.
me.
He's
Well, we'll
trying
get you
to
on.
get into the comic world too and do some writing. So he's like trying to make available time, and he wanted to do Freewheeling Friday through the summer, and then like go do some of his own work. And I was like, oh, that's totally cool. If you're still doing and I quote, we'll just pop one of those episodes in that time slot, and you keep that time slot for when you want it back.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
those are important. Look,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, your time slots are important, man. You
Yep.
guys, you have them locked in. This is when you do your thing.
Yep.
We try not to get people stepping on each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and you know, we've got a handful of regulars that this is what they expect. They expect every Sunday night at 8 o'clock, you know, and we're thankful for them, right? We're thankful for them, but they tune in every Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Just like I used
bad on not being here in time to hook you up on Pilled and Rumble, but I will
no
replay
sweat
this
it,
show
Pops.
later tonight. I promise.
No, don't sweat it. It's all good.
Sometimes I just don't get there in time. You know,
Well, it's not like you've got it's not like you just moved across country.
Well, I still haven't figured the time zone. I've already missed a couple shows entirely.
Oh, that's right, because you're like 3 hours. You're in Mountain Time there, aren't you?
Well, it's 2, yeah. But I mean, I'll go to look for a show, and oh crap, it's already over, and I'm like sharing it out an hour later, right? And like I'm trying to get adjusted. I'm figuring this out.
Yeah. It'll all come.
Football season, we actually have a show on the network called
hey,
NFL.
Leave comments to me. Leave the comments to me.
There you go. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here before Roland gets mad. Look,
All
I
right.
made it all the way through without cussing, Roland. Bye.
I'm proud of you.
Bye, Pops.
That was fun.
Yeah, those cross country moves are tough.
Yeah, especially a time change. I can imagine that's got all backwards.
Wait, who said they're only here until football season? You got
me
me
and
until
Matt.
football
Somebody,
season.
I didn't see it.
What? Oh, you know what? That's right. I forget. I'm like, this is Sunday, but I'm not a pro guy. I'm a college guy. So
You're a Saturday guy.
yeah, I'm a Saturday guy.
Because high school football is Friday, college football is Saturday, and real football is Sunday.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've watched any real pro ball. All right. Well, this is Shop Talk. Our not our annual, but our monthly Shop Talk, and I want to lead it off with this one. I'll start it off. You guys, let me see if I can share it here. Share screen window right here.
What's
big
the first
news?
story?
First story. Comics Wellspring suspends operations. Indie comic creators left in limbo. For those who don't know, Comics Wellspring is a comics printer, and we don't use. Pretty much everyone knows who is, right? So we don't use Comics Wellspring, but yeah, this is going to affect a lot of people. Any thoughts on this, Mike? Did you ever use Wellspring?
I used them one time, and they were okay, but it's just one of those things where you wanted to give them a try. But they were a split off of another company, and I don't believe I think when they first started, like 10 years ago, I think that they had a particular plan, but then they split off from their parent company and went into a kind of their own little world, and I think that's where I started seeing online a lot more chatter about them running late, and not communicating with creators. So I think some people saw this on the wall that it was coming.
Yeah. Pencil for there's Pencil for Life says, "Hey guys, what's up, Pencil for Life? Thanks for hanging out with us here. Today is our Shop Talk. We're going to talk about things that's happened in the industry for the last month. I'm reading through some of these. I'm not going to put all these up. Tom Chasing Killer. Tom's leaving. Tom Mason says, "I'm only here until football starts."
And I'm out. If the 5 o'clock game is good, I'm out.
Jose says, "Hey guys from the highway, what's up, Jose?"
Hey,
Jose, we're like a radio show, aren't we, Jose? Just don't look at the screen while you're driving. That's all I'll say.
I don't want the
We're
cops.
mostly audio.
Yes, yeah. Madness says, Pop says they gave me an in-person quote and then reneged on it.
So
Mike, who was? You said they split up from the parent company. Who was the parent company?
It was a company called Greco Printing, And
Oh,
then
I remember them.
they
Yeah.
were, they were just a standard, all-purpose type of printer. And then I'm not really sure. The only reason I used them the first time was that someone gave me a coupon. It's like, well, I'll give it a try because I'd planned on
Sure.
using Kablam, but I thought,
Right.
well, I'm not going to pass up a coupon.
No, absolutely not. And it's funny because. Go ahead.
I wasn't happy with the print job.
Yeah.
It printed way too light, and while he was very apologetic about it, I was never given well, we'll do it over for you. We'll if you weren't happy with it, I'll just tell them the next time you order something that they better watch out. It's like, well, I'm not going to be here the next time.
Right.
Yeah, you
So,
lost me.
You've lost me.
What about these books that I have in my hands now?
Yeah, I'm not happy with the books. I mean, and I thought that was, like I said, he was very apologetic and say, I'll tell the pre-press guy to be, careful of that. It's like, no, that's not what I want to hear. I want to, I would like to say that at the time I was being very, I thought very nice as a customer. I wasn't being like you screwed this up and you better make it right. I was just like, I kind of do this for a living, and I sent to you, my monitors are calibrated and, all these other things. And I kind of do this as a pro, and I may do the comic thing as a side, but I kind of know what I'm doing. And I just, no offense to them.
It's not like you don't know.
It's not like I didn't know. So I was kind of like, okay, well, I'll just not use you again. I was only doing it on a lark this time. So, you've lost me though.
Yeah.
So there's two things about the story that I find weird. Well, the timing is terrible because it's convention season.
Yeah.
Right.
And people who depend on comics to get to the show, they're SOL, which is terrible. But the other thing, and this is sort of the age of comics journalism that we're in now, is that you don't know how many people are actually affected, like how many publishers are using them.
Right.
What's the actual? I mean, it sounds terrible, but is it 10 or is it 100?
Yeah.
Right.
Because you can gauge sort of how impactful it is by the number of clients that are screwed.
Right. And I think probably, we're in that day and age where there are hundreds of independent comics being made.
Yeah.
You go back to the the 80s or the even the early Malibu times, you could figure out how many publishers there were, right? Because you had the Marvel and DC, and then you had the B tier, and then you had a whole bunch of, but you could usually see who they were, right? Now, because of print on demand, anybody can go and print 20 copies of a book.
Right.
So there's no telling how many they have. I know that whenever I visit our printer, they're printing up, dozens and dozens and dozens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's stuff I've never seen before. It's not like, oh yeah, this guy's got another one. No. This stuff I've never seen before.
Right.
And
they're also using, Kablam. I use Kablam for all my printing needs. Kablam, give them a try. But the thing that Kablam does is that they also, and again, from talking to the guys, is that they print comics like for movie producers who are using them as proof of concept. So they're not, some of them aren't direct market comics. Some of them are just presentation comics.
Right. And some things that the Kablam does, because they also have Indie Plant. In addition to orders by publishers, they're fulfilling orders for us little guys to go out to other people through, again, print on demand. So that's a lot of books.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Yeah. So I can only imagine. I took it down before I scrolled. Let me see if I can get it back up there now. I don't want to remove it. Add it. There we go. Right here, if you scroll down a little bit, it said that orders are being refunded, and then they've got a big message to their customers, which we're not going to read, but it just says we're grateful for the support and trust you have shown Comics Well Stream Mother. We sincerely apologize. But as you said, Tom, there's there's a lot of folks who San Diego Comic-Con is coming up.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
Refund is great. I'm glad to have the money back if I was a publisher, but I got shows coming up. I need my books. Because we all know that the shows are where it's another revenue stream for us.
Right.
So Ain't no books, ain't no money.
Yeah,
And it's going to be
That's right.
hard for a new printer to turn around those books for San Diego, which is what, 2 weeks away.
Yeah, because they're
right.
because we know from our friends that they're booked, a couple weeks out in
Yep.
advance.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, they've got a, it's queued up in their system.
yeah,
I know that just from talking to Tommy, say, hey, they get the books in, they have it's an assembly line process, right? But they have hey, here's the order. Did you pay? Did you upload your files? Stick you in the queue to print. They got to check the files, right, to make sure they're okay.
Right.
Stick you in the queue to print, and then then every day they're printing and shipping, and so yeah. And they're I know that Tommy and Barry, deal with a lot of stuff. We can't speak for Tommy. He's not here. Unfortunately, he can't say this, but I know one of the problems that he said here, on our stream before, is one of the biggest issues they deal with a lot of times is just the files. People don't get their files in the correct way. They do the book, and then it's like, oh, well, here are my files. Well, your files are like 20 by 13. It's like, what do you want to print?
Because it's not, the thing is, printing isn't just printing, it's also an IT issue.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you got to be able to fix the files or address the issues that people have gotten wrong. And you can't, it's not just like putting something down on a photocopier and hitting print. There's
some back and forth.
Yeah.
You can't just buy a big printer and think you can do what they do. I mean, it's a lot more entailed if you want it to look like a comic.
21 years of printing experience. Kablam for all your printing needs.
That's right. That's right.
Man in the Mask, proudly printed at Kablam.
Yep. And I'm not going to pull every one of them from over here, but I'm just going to reach a random right here and look and show you right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, one of the things that when I first started using them, one of the things that I talked to Tommy about is that one of the things that I like about them is that Tommy and Barry make comics. I've dealt with printers before, right? Back in the day, I dealt with Brenner, I dealt with Morgan, I dealt with a bunch of printers. But these were professional printers, and now they knew what they were doing. Don't get me wrong, but they didn't make comic books. Tommy, as people, right? They printed them, but they didn't make them. Tommy and Barry and Jenny, they all make comics. They are all involved in some aspect of the creation of comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And so they can look at them and say, you know what? This doesn't look good. Let's figure out what's wrong with it. And I'm talking about the printing part of it, not the creative. And so they're invested in it, right?
Well, the printers that we used to use, again, this is a long time ago, Ronald's or Quebecor in Canada. I mean, those guys, I forget the two account executives' names, but those guys were not comic book fans, but they understood comic books and how they needed to be printed because they understood they were personal friends or with their clients in many ways, and they also understood what the audience wanted.
Right.
And so you could, if you were printing a big book like a massive hardcover, DC and Marvel would send a guy to the printer, and they would stay there and watch the stuff roll off the press, and you could say, no, no, and they'd fix it.
Yeah, and one of the things that Tom I liked about being at Malibu was that we had a guy who would do that for us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how often he went to the printers, but Eric Senna, he was our guy. Anytime we had a problem, you go, hey, Eric, man, what's wrong with this? I'm on it, and he was.
I forgot what college he went to, but it was basically like manufacturing school.
Right.
Like he knew all that stuff. He had some kind of degree. And he knew, we'd go to him with like stupid stuff. How do we get this made? And he goes, well, there's a template for that. This is what you need to do.
Right.
And he would know.
Yeah. Yeah. David Ace Gutierrez. What's up, David? Good to see you. He goes, love the kablam. Yeah, we do too. Matt likes comics. Oh, Matt's already gone here. He says, Tom Mason, I'm trying to get in touch with you.
I'm right here.
Say hi.
He says, I'm just a rest later. I have to get ready for my show. Yeah. So yeah. I think I don't know So let me ask you a question, and before anybody starts throwing barbs at us, none of us wish anybody ill here. Okay, so no one at Wellspring, none of the ones who deal with them. But let me ask you guys a question: do you think this is a good thing, a bad thing, or a doesn't matter thing?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. They're alternatives. You know, they were an alternative at one time, and now they're not. So
there's others.
out there.
Because it's not like Diamond went out of business. Because
Diamond was a bad thing.
It there are a lot of other printers.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, throw a rock and you'll hit a good printer. And so I think it's a shame, obviously, because nobody wants to be out of work and people want to get their books printed and that stuff. But it's not. It's the kind of thing that sorts itself out in a few weeks, and then it's just like it never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just because of the timing.
Yeah, the timing is terrible. If they'd gone out of business at Christmas time, okay, it's not convention. You get 6 months before convention season really starts.
Right.
I mean, you'll have people griping about it online, but they're already they're already arranging to be printed someplace else.
And I think if you're any kind of publisher, you already have 2 or 3 printers,
right.
And so it's not like I don't have to call Roland up and say, Roland, I need a printer now. It's like I know 3 or 4 of them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And you should, right? You should have that.
Because we have that because of the way comics are made. We all know 4 letterers. We all know 4 colorists. We all know 4 pencilers or 4 inkers or 4, logo guys. We know because sometimes your preferred person is not available.
Right. And Mike can only work so many hours. I want to say that.
And Roberta's only human.
It's like sometimes I feel bad emailing Mike. Where's this dude? Where's this dude?
Right.
And I know Mike's like, oh man, Roland's emailing me again. Oh no, not only did he email me, he sent me a Facebook message. I can't hide from him.
I got that last thing to you. So yeah.
You did. Thank you.
I got that last thing to you that very day. So yeah.
And I just got a message from Mickey that he's having problems with his end. So I'm like, I'll take care of it, Mickey. Hang on. So anyway. No, you're right. I think I agree with all of y'all. I think it's a doesn't matter thing. I feel bad for the creators and for any of the employees who may be negatively affected.
Because the thing is, if you get a comic book all the way done except for the printing, it's like, that's like the last hurdle,
right,
before you're really done. And it's like if you can't get that done when you want it to, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the worst thing is, as Roberta says, is timing. Is that so many of these people were probably counting on those books to go to San Diego.
Well, and they've booked the table, they booked the space, they've booked everything, and the comic is hanging there.
And as we know, I mean, when you do a show regular, we've had some of our guests on here say this. When you do a show regular, one of the things that the people expect is something new, right? If you're like, hey, I'm here this year, I'll be here next year, and the year after that, each year they're looking for something new because they want to support you.
One of my favorite creators is Randy Ronaldo, the guy who does the Rob Haynes Adventures. And every year at San Diego, he has a brand new issue. He's already posted the cover to it online. He's already told you where he's going to be at San Diego at his booth, and I'll be there preview night with my money, and I'll get it, just like I have every year for the last 15 years or so.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's the kind that I'm thinking of is that, I don't know who Randy prints with.
Kablam. He prints with Kablam.
Oh, well, there you go.
So he's all your printing needs. Kablam.
We're just going to have to take a whole bunch of clips of Tom tonight and send those to Tommy and Barry.
Tom and Barry.
Because you can get all Randy's books. You can get all Randy's books on Indie Planet.
Yeah.
Okay, for all you folks out there, make it a drinking game now.
Every time Tom says kablam, do a shot.
Yeah, but someone like Randy, I think would have been incredibly negatively affected.
Yeah, but he's not because he prints it with kablam for all your printing needs.
I'm not going to be able to talk soon.
All right, so the next one here. Controversial Marvel rumor may see digital comics land a new home. Now, if you hadn't heard this, I don't see the date in this title, but the date that I remember reading was 2030.
It's
here we go.
clickbait.
It's a rumor of a rumor. It's vaporware. There's nothing there.
Okay.
What happened is that
people would be all over the place.
The video game people who make PlayStation or whatever have said that they're going to do away with discs, and everything is going to be a digital download. And then somebody did what they always do, which is, well, comics are next. And then and that person has no authority. It's just like it's the general sort of internet fear, and then all of a sudden now it's become a story, but it's actually a non-story. There's no
huge rumor. Yeah.
There's no and I can tell you from talking to people that I know at DC that basically, internet comics are maybe 10% of their revenue from comics. Print is still the thing. People want the collectible comic. People want to read the comic in its printed form.
And they want to sell it to people. And
most of the digital comics that DC, and I'm only speaking for them because this is the gossip I got from people who work there. Most of the digital comics that they sell are from people who are either overseas, where shipping would kill them, or don't have a comic book store.
Yeah. Well, the thing about this story is it's kind of already been proven out, because I think where it comes from is that Marvel is going to do something with Webtoon. What was it last year that it was reported that Marvel's just going to do a thing? But I believe that if this was lucrative, DC's already done a thing with Webtoon, and if it was an
original thing,
we already have them there.
It was already there, and if DC could make more money on Webtoon, they would have jumped at that in a heartbeat. And the fact that they haven't kind of tells you something.
Well, and DC did take their Webtoon project and turn it into 3 graphic novels. So Webtoon was just there to build audience. It's not there to replace.
Yeah.
So.
Jose says Cruise Control knows how to get home. And then he says Mike is a machine. Yes, he is. But the good kind of machine.
You can see the steam coming out.
No kidding. Mostly on my ears.
So just a rumor. One of the things I say in my class frequently is because students are always asking about digital this, digital that, and recently though they started asking a follow-up question that I'm like, because I tell them, I said, well, here's the problem with digital. The problem with digital is no one has really figured out how to make money with the digital yet. It's there, it's available, and of course there are absolutely some exceptions, like Lore Olympus, right? The webtoons, Lore Olympus from Rachel Smith, right? Fantastic book, or webtoons, right? Have very super popular webtoons. Now she's got her. It's in print, but that's the exception.
We know Dan Scotty from Lavender Jack. That was a webtoon, and now it's a series of Dark Horse graphic novels.
Right. So there are exceptions. Well, so. When I've said this in class, not every month, but the last couple of months, some of my students will say, well, haven't you said the same is true for print comics? Everyone can print them, but there are the exceptions to the ones that make money. And I'm like, you're not wrong. That is kind of what I've been saying.
Yeah, because that's the thing. The thing that Webtoon does is, and you can look this up online, but a lot of Webtoon creators don't make a living off being on Webtoon, but they do get exposed by being on Webtoon. And then that eventually can become a printed product.
Yeah.
But the thing about Webtoon is you have to watch it because it's a free product. So those guys, there's not a literal translation of that, because those guys are used to getting something for free. They're not going to turn around and pay for it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a different kind of market, but it is good. It's like advertising. It's like what the Japanese do with anime. It's to advertise the manga, or it's vice versa. It's an advertising tool.
Or the toys, or the video game.
Or the toys, video game.
Take a small break.
Okay.
All right.
See you in a bit.
Bye. The triptych is back.
Yeah. It's like
look, we're Frank Miller again.
Yeah.
Jose says Tom is making 25 cents every time he says kablam.
Excellent. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think nobody's going all digital anytime soon, and nobody's going to stop printing anytime soon. And just ain't happening.
Yeah.
So
clip that and save it for when everything goes all digital, and you can just make me look like a jackass. But
so let me ask you guys a question, and this may be a conversation we don't want to have right now. So what is the problem with digital? Why aren't we seeing? Why isn't digital better than what we keep expecting it to be? Why doesn't it replace print?
Well,
it's impersonal.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least that's my opinion. It's not may not be everybody, but I think it's very impersonal.
The real audience for comics is print centered.
Yeah.
And they don't want to change. It's like trying to get my mother to cut cable and watch everything on an iPad.
Right.
Right. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Or on the internet. Yeah.
Right. It's just not. And so I think or try to get them, to
get rid of the landline.
Quit using a push button phone and get a smartphone. It's like, no, they're not going to do that. And so I think maybe as the boomer and Gen X audience age out, maybe digital will replace them, maybe not. But the people who like comics tend to like to hold the thing in their hand as a printed book. They want to go to the show. They want to talk to the creator. They want to buy the comic. They want to collect the comic. They want to, obsess about it online. And
smell it.
Yeah, smell it. And I think there's a lot of stuff that you can do when printed comics exist that you can't do with digital comics.
Right.
What digital comics can do is you can sample it. All right, do I want to like I bought the new Firestorm #1 online, and I paid for it because I wanted to sample it, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
And now because I'm a jackass, I'm not going to buy more. I'm going to wait for the trade.
Yeah. Well, and we're certainly that is absolutely a trend, right? We're seeing.
Yeah.
I think it's the binge mentality, right? We don't want to buy the issue after issue now. We want to wait to the trade,
right,
so that we can read the whole thing. I get that, right? And that's actually part of the Silverline model. Back, you guys who remember, that was back when we first started. We're going, hey, many to trade being the goal.
And I think also a lot of people forget that the comic book store is a clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of people. You go there on Wednesday, you see the same people, you talk to the owner who's a comic book fan themselves, and you see the other people in the neighborhood or the community that read comics, and you argue about who's doing crap work and who's doing great work. And it becomes a thing. It's a place to hang out and talk about stuff. And I think that you don't really get to do that digitally. It's not the same experience. And so I think until digital can replicate in some way those same aspects, it can't really catch on.
And I think it's starting to be rejected by the new generation because, with streaming, again, it's impersonal, but it's also kind of like you don't really own it. You don't feel like it's a tangible item. And, it's like DVD sales for the first time have gone up.
Right.
And, and print media and books are starting to see increases.
There's also a trust issue, too, which is people are coming around to the idea that I don't trust these tech companies to maintain my library of digital stuff,
right?
Because they've already come out and said, "Oh no, you can't watch that anymore because we took it off."
Yeah,
right. Even though you paid for it, and even though theoretically
you
you might think you own it,
right?
You don't. And so physical media becomes a thing. You can take it offline. I got my DVD right here. I got my print comic. I got my trade paperback. I got my music. It's all here.
Well, and we've seen a resurgence. Why, I don't know, but we've seen a resurgence of vinyl, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the younger generation are buying vinyl records.
Because that's the other thing too, is that just so you can make the case that as the audience, like old people are going to die off, and nobody's going to want to collect comics anymore, and comics and print is dead or whatever. And the new people are going to come up, and they're all digital. They're going to want everything on screens. It's like, you can't say that for certain. That's just an opinion, because
Right.
I'm always surprised when people say, the young people coming up are going to do X. And then as they get older, it's like, oh, they didn't do that at all.
No. Well, and here, Jose says you can't go to a digital Comic-Con and meet your favorite creator.
Right. And
True.
interacting with them online is not the same as
No.
talking to them at a show.
Nope.
I can give you a little sketch at a con. I
Right.
can't do
Right.
this the way. I mean, I'd like to give it to you right now, but I can't.
You can
Yeah.
sign my physical comic.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
you
I can
can't
make
sign.
you feel part of the club.
Yeah, I can't hand you my phone or tablet. If you sign that, you've messed it up, right?
Right.
So, Tommy, we got a Florimani flyby. He says, "Sorry, I couldn't make it on the show. Thanks for the kind words on Kablam. Just one comment: as Kablam, no plans to stop, getting bigger, and the only thing we do, print and ship comics."
Right.
He says comics are a collectible product. NFTs really worked.
Right. Yeah. Because nobody, what are you holding? You're not
Yeah.
holding anything.
No, but bless his heart, who's the guy who made that $1 million for the Wonder Woman?
But that was Jose Adelbo.
Good for him.
I mean, that's because he labored for Charlton and DC at those low page rates back in those
Yep.
days, and so I'm grateful that he got the cash out. I have no
Me too.
criticism of him.
Yep. I'm glad it was him and not some Joe Schmo from
Or
Podunk.
some business or some tech bro. I'm glad it was
Right.
an actual creator.
Yep. Same. Same. All right. Anything more about that one?
No, it's dead to me.
Okay.
No.
So this is sales charts. Absolute Catwoman #1 rules June in the Prana DMS charts.
Yeah.
Here we go. Can we actually see this?
Well, I can see the bars.
There we go. Is that better? So
Read it to me like I'm a child.
All right, let me see. It doesn't work.
Absolute Catwoman's 100. What is that? 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Absolute Batman #21, 95.73. Avengers Armageddon #1 is 69.61. Absolute Green Arrow 62.84. I'm not going to read the points anymore.
Supposedly,
Batman,
the Green Arrow book is really good.
the Absolute Green Arrow book is good.
Yeah.
And then that's followed by Batman 10, Mask #1, Daredevil 3, Absolute Wonder Woman 21, Absolute Batman 20, Amazing Spider-Man #30. 30? Did they redo the Spider-Man numbers again?
Of course.
Oh, I
Yes.
didn't know that. I missed
Yeah.
that one.
Get with it,
Yeah,
Roland.
everything's got new numbers on it, and then they have little tiny letters, legacy, about how actually many issues there are. So it's a license for them to do it over and over again, to restart the numbers, because then they're putting that little fine print. But it would really be this number if we didn't do this.
Right. If we weren't cheating to try to make it collectible and bring in new readers,
Yeah.
it would be
Yeah.
like Spider-Man 1000 is the 1000th Spider-Man
my
comic,
gosh, yeah.
but it's
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's don't talk about that. Here's the market share.
this is what I find fascinating.
Yeah.
Because DC is
DC,
kicking Marvel's butt again.
they sure are. 40%, Marvel 33%, Image is practically 15%. And then you got Dynamite, IDW, Dark Horse, Boom, Titan, Oni, and Mad Cave. I'm surprised to see Mad Cave still up there, though.
They do good books, though.
Yeah, but but they're such problems, they're having problems is what I should say.
Well, I think they overexpanded and they cut some people.
Yeah.
But the books are still good.
Yeah, so I will say this, for anybody following comics, this is really the first time DC has held the lead like this since I've been following comics.
It's
And
the
we're talking
Absolute
40
books.
years.
But
Yeah.
it's the absolute books, and how much is that? It's like we talked about a couple of weeks ago on the chat. How much is this variant covers? How much is this percentage?
Yeah.
The 22, 23 absolute Batman covers that artists are doing it, retailers are exclusively selling online. How much is this stuff actually being read in these sales things?
Yeah. Well,
Where is that?
and the other thing I think is important to mention here is that these are Prana numbers. So this is not real absolute. This is not absolute market, right?
No, but it's 600 of the better stores.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty reflective. So I want to say that, but
Yes.
I don't think we can look at it and say, yes, this is absolutely what the market is. But I do think it's pretty reflective. I just think we have to be careful to say, and I don't know if they're presenting it this way. I don't know. I think we have to be careful to think this is what the market is when, okay, no, this is a portion of the market. Now it's we feel it's a reflective portion of the market, but it is not the entire market. There could be somebody who's not in this sampling that ordered a bazillion copies of Marvel comics, and that would put the numbers over. I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that's the case.
But
because they would be one of the better stores, and then they would be they'd be included in the Prana survey.
Yeah.
So how does one get included in the Prana?
Well, there's a secret ceremony.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I don't know. But I know.
Yeah.
I think Prana is Adam Freeman's company. Adam Freeman used to be a marketing executive at Boom many years ago.
Boom, yeah.
And so I think he probably has a really good list of some of the best retailers in the country.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's a. I mean, I can't say this for certain, but let's just say it's he contacts them and asks, and then they want to participate to be part of it, and then people who aren't part of it can apply.
Well, I'll say this: I absolutely love this list. So before you guys start saying, "Roland, why are you being such a naysayer?" No. I'm trying to paint the realistic picture.
Why do you hate comics, Roland?
But I love this list because you guys have probably heard me say before. One of the things about when the COVID thing happened, when the Diamond sort of breakup began, is we lost that list. That you know, Dave used to keep a list. John Jackson Miller kept a list. We lost that list, which I think is important for the industry. And so I love to see this. I do think, my own opinion, I do think this is a fair sampling. But we do have to just remember it's not everybody. It's just who's on the Prana list. But I love the list. I think it's valuable for us. And I think publishers need to pay attention to it. I like this part of it because he says, for your convenient, here are the top 10 titles that are not DC or Marvel. So and here's where they fall, right? So you've got Image, Dynamite, Image. All of them are Dynamite and Image, right? So the highest rated one is Mask at number 6. And the lowest one in the top 10 is Rook.
No IDW books.
And the Dynamite is basically the same book.
Right.
Ben 10. Yeah. 1 and 2 of Ben 10.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is just Dial H for Hero.
Yeah. But for age generation, it is what it is. I mean, to Aiden, Ben 10 was the top of the top. I mean, before he even started reading comics, he watched them. So that's who they're catering to.
Yeah.
What's funny is Transformers and G.I. Joe are 40-year-old properties.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. This is probably drawn by our pal Paul Pelletier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
look,
think
though,
so.
Dork from Image at issue number 5 is at 51. That's really good.
Yeah.
Because that's an original creator-owned title.
But also does variants, that most I think everything on this list are have variant coverage.
The thing that I'm more forgiving about is because that's an original creator-owned title.
I agree.
And so it's not a license and not a corporate thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Dana Black. Hey, Dana. Good to see you here.
Hey, Dana.
He says, hey, glad to catch you. We are glad you could catch us as well. Glad for you to hang out with us. This is just our monthly what's going on in the industry list. So this is a good site. This is from Comic Speed, but I love this. I love to see this. And I think anyone who's making comics should go and look at it. And
I think what it means, to your point, Roland, I think it means, because we used to have nothing. We used to have everything when Diamond and Capital City existed, and then we had everything when Diamond existed. Then when Diamond went out of business, we sort of had nothing.
Yeah.
And now it looks like, while we have an imperfect system now, it looks like it can improve, and we may eventually, as they refine it and fix the bugs and get more people involved, it could take the shape where we could be back where we were.
Well, I think so. I think Prana is trying to, build a little bit of some of that readership that Wizard had. because they've got a comic magazine they're trying to do.
That's right, they do.
And so they've got a price guide in the back of that. So, it's trying to generate some excitement of comics by trying to say, well, look, here's some top sellers. Here's some, why we all have our opinion of Wizard. At the same time, it did have some excitement to comics, and it
was a huge seller of a print thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been missing that. So maybe having some of these sales, charts and again, magazines that you can hold in your hand.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good system because they're releasing information. They're releasing sort of the rah-rah information for free digitally. So it's out in the ether. And then the magazine is more like the in-depth follow-up with articles and interviews and features and stuff. So it's like a 1-2 punch. If you can get data for free, but if you want to go deeper, there's the magazine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Like I said, I love the fact that they're doing this, and I hope they continue, because these are, I think if you make comics, these are the kind of things that you need to be at least aware of. I mean, it's your industry, right?
Well, and don't get angry. Don't look at the numbers and go, "Why are these comics outselling my comic?" Because that's you'll never. Yeah, that's just wrong-headed.
No, yeah, that'll get in your head and stick, won't it? Or has potential to.
Yeah, it is, and it's no, we're not. You're not going to outsell G.I. Joe, no matter what you come up with, really.
Nope.
Although that Dork guy says almost up to G.I. Joe numbers.
Yeah,
so,
right. Guys, I've just been pulling from our chat. Do you have anything? I realize that
I sent it to you in the chat for that reason.
Okay, all right, good. Roberta, Mike, y'all have anything to?
Well, the one I wanted to talk about was, we always talk about sales of comics. We let's talk about the quality of comics and what certain creators have to say about that. And the news item that kind of jumped out at me was Mark Wade was on a podcast, and he was asked, do you think comics are better than they were 20 or 30 years ago? And he said, well, if you think comics that were 20 or 30 years ago are better than today's, you're a dinosaur. You're petroleum. You're outdated.
We did talk about that in the chat.
And quite frankly, I have opinions of that.
We could talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Start it, Mike. Kick us off.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about it, last week as we were trailing off, we talked about it, and Tom had his opinions of it. Roland, I think, had his opinions of it. But when what Wade's looking at, and I would agree with him only in one fashion: in the indie market. I think the indie market is better, and the quality of indie comics is better than it was 20 or 30 years ago. I disagree with him that mainstream books, which are usually what brings people in,
right?
I think mainstream books are not better than they were 20, 30 years ago. And that's not that's not me waving my cane at the sky. At least I would hope not, because I would like to have a very subjective point of view of this.
So let's clarify. When you say mainstream, you mean Marvel and DC.
Marvel and DC.
Okay,
and that's what I think. Unfortunately, he was talking about. Even though I
think so too.
I was thinking that he was, because he works in mainstream comics. Let's be honest, and has the majority of his career. And like I said, I think with indie comics, I will completely agree with that. I think the tone has definitely blended. That there's a professionalism that may not have been with indie comics.
I think for indie comics, and I include, well, maybe you would, but I would include the stuff that Scholastic is doing and Simon and Schuster are doing, because they're not Marvel and DC and they're not superheroes.
Right. Yeah.
I think one of the things that we've always done, if you've been in comics a long time, is we've always complained that the genres are missing, that superheroes took over everything. And things like Western comics about Westerns and comics about automobiles and comics about car racing and whatever don't exist anymore. But the Japanese creators over there, they have manga about baseball and cooking and all the other stuff, golf, and why can't we do that? And I think now we're finally at a golden age for that kind of stuff, where we have, like, whatever your thing is, you pretty much find an independent comic, even if it's from Scholastic, that covers that. And you want dragons? There's a whole bunch of them. You want
Right.
and you want some sort of Lord of the Rings fantasy stuff? There's that out there. You want car racing stuff? There's that out there. You want romance stuff from high school? That's there too. You want romantasy with its where it's hot gender on gender action? You can have that too. It's just there's everything now, and I think that's, to me, that's the golden age. Like Marvel and DC. Because Marvel and DC have those contracts that don't really reward creators for creating new stuff, they're going to continue to recycle and repackage all of the older characters that they own. Right. And that's fine for them. That's a good business model. It doesn't attract me like independent comics do.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is that they're not attracting their audience either, because, they are recycling those ideas. I mean, if you look at a lot of reports, the majority of people who buy Marvel and DC books are over the age of 40.
Yeah.
Right.
The younger people are buying comics, but it's a much smaller percentage. But they're buying more very different kinds of comics.
Yes, and they're buying.
I'm not sure how to get that audience because they're not looking for the old-fashioned comic.
Well, and they're also not looking for the Wednesday hit.
All right.
Because the over 40s are. That's because that's their thing. But the new kids, comics are just part of the landscape that includes video games and everything else that they're into. And so I think that's
web series,
web series,
TV shows.
It's just a piece of their. Whereas for us, it was like, okay, it's just comics,
right?
Because video games didn't really exist except at the arcade, and that was that. And so.
I couldn't bring the Asteroids machine home with me, right?
Right, and there's no iPad, and there's no streaming, and there's only 3 networks back in the day, and so there's not. Comics was like that was the thing. Now. That was our streaming.
Yeah.
And so I think that the new kids are not what used to be called, I guess maybe they still are, the Wednesday Warriors, who show up every Wednesday and buy 20 comics. Yeah. They show up 3 times a year, and they get the graphic novel that they like, and that's it. They're done. They're fine.
Wednesday was a hit. It was one of those things you again, like what we're doing right now. Wednesday was an appointment, and you try to actually get around a certain time where you knew you were going to intersect with other guys you knew.
Yeah.
Right.
And have a conversation.
Yeah. I knew people when I lived in Los Angeles. I knew people who worked in office buildings, at office jobs, who were comic book fans, and they would plan their Wednesday lunch from 12 to 1, and they would like at 11:59, they're sitting there looking at their watch, and by 12:01, they're in the car driving down to Golden Apple. To get the new stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's you're like a crackhead at that point.
Yeah.
And we don't have new crackheads.
No. Well, I think because I would like to take what Tom said and split it a little bit. So I think when you're talking about independent comics, I don't really look at Scholastic and Penguin and them as independents. Right. And the reason is they've got big corporate backing, right? They've got big wallets.
I can see that.
And I understand that they're not the mainstream as we consider Marvel and DC, because when I think mainstream, I also think Marvel and DC, right? Everybody else is not mainstream.
Right.
So I think, this is my opinion, I think independent comics, not Scholastic and the like, right? Because I think those are more traditional book publishers who've gotten into graphic novel publishing.
No.
Right.
I think independent comics are not as good as what they used to be. All right. And I say that because when I'm thinking independent comics, where's Scout? Where's Nexus? Where are the long running independent comics? Yes, we've got Saga, but how long has it been since we've seen a Saga? Right.
Mm-hmm.
What else is out there? Right.
I think the economics don't make that available anymore.
Yeah.
No.
But I do think Scholastic and Penguin and other, I think they're producing some really good content that they weren't making 25 years ago.
Kids are reading.
That's where they're finding the comic books through that now, right? Yes. They're not finding them at the comic shops. They're finding them at the Scholastic book fairs.
The comic book store is becoming the old man store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Nexus and all those were the alternative. and they were, they were being built by guys that, it was the bootstrap mentality, but they were giving you an alternative to Marvel and DC at the time. Those college students that
Right.
were now, kind of gravitating away from Marvel and DC, but still wanted that touch of comics.
But now I'm going to fight with Roland because I kind of disagree now, because Scout was published by Eclipse. So Tim Truman was still getting money.
Mm-hmm.
He was still getting a page rate from Scout.
What's
and First Comics was publishing Nexus.
Rate?
What? You faded out.
Yep.
So
yes. Yeah. So
he was
were
getting
they
money from
page rates,
Eclipse,
or were they getting royalties?
No, they were getting paid. I remember Barron talking about the first Capital and First. They were paying them.
Yeah, because I knew the colorists for Eclipse, and they were getting a page rate too. And the First Comics was paying a page rate.
My first work.
So because the Nexus guy's got a page rate.
Hello.
Yeah,
We can hear you.
we can hear
Kind
you.
of hear you, yeah.
Okay.
Because Howard was getting a page rate for American Flag, and Joe and Coverberg were getting a page rate for E-Man.
So you're saying those weren't independents?
I think I prefer the term what Mike said, alternative, because they were an alternative to Marvel and DC, but they were still corporate backed.
They're publishers. I mean, that's what got Comico in trouble. They tried to do that. They tried to get page rates, and they gave ownership, but then it started falling out.
So
they went to the newsstand too, which killed
they
everyone.
went to the newsstand. Yeah.
who went to the newsstand?
Kimiko,
yeah.
and Eclipse.
I didn't know that.
Kimiko and Eclipse, and
You
First
remember
went
Eclipse?
with First took Classic Illustrated to the newsstand, and that sank them too. So it's just don't go to the newsstand.
I
was about to say, but they didn't go to the newsstand.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been exposed to Grendel had not been to the newsstand. That was the first place I saw those kind of books.
Yeah, and see, I didn't see any of those books until I spotted them in the comic book shop.
So I'm breaking it down as 4 categories. There's alternative,
Okay.
there's independent, and then there is mainstream, which is Marvel and DC, and then there's the book people.
Book people, yeah. And I don't know what do we call them?
Book people.
Book people?
Because they're. Go ahead.
Oh, I think because traditionally, they're not new to making stuff, right? They're publishing,
Right.
not new to publishing, but they've always done traditional books, and now they're getting into graphic novels. And I think a lot of what they're doing is good, but they're not what we consider as the traditional outlets.
But they also have super distribution.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do.
Because they have one of the things about them is they have a 75-year practice of distributing books to bookstores.
And it all goes back to distribution, doesn't it?
It does.
And so I think, and they look at, they're like, okay, based on the books that we sell in bookstores, what would that audience want? And they're making graphic novels for that audience. They're not trying to make graphic novels for the direct market because they don't have that. They don't know that.
Nope.
And so they do make books for the market that they have that they can distribute to, and people flock to it. Kids.
Yeah.
Which
They
is
have
what
their
comics
ear.
have always wanted.
Yeah, they have the ear they need.
Yeah.
And they're beautifully made books. Here's the thing about them, though. They're beautifully made books. The art is really nice. It varies in terms of what you like, whatever.
Right.
But some of the lettering is terrible. It
is. Yeah.
Good comic book lettering.
Well,
That's a good
and
point.
here's something. You're right. Some of the lettering is bad. I don't think some of the art is bad as well. But let me say it's rough. But
It's a toss up.
But so this term that I think I've said it on the stream before. The term comes from our good pal Ross Ritchie. He and I were talking. This goes back several years ago, back before Silverline started, when I was kind of dabbling to get back in and everything. I was talking to him, and because boom was certainly still a big thing back then, and I was curious about had I aged out as a writer out of the boom market. And Ross was basically, but make sure your artist is he goes, no, you're not. If you can tell a story we want, right?
Right.
He goes, but make sure your artist is not doesn't have Kirby DNA. And I said, well, what
Right.
do you mean by that? And he goes, well, you and I grew up on every single artist that we liked has Kirby DNA. And he goes, we're really looking for artists that don't have that. He goes,
Right.
you think about it, right? So the generation of artists I with Jack Kirby, right? All these artists learned to tell stories from Jack Kirby, and then the image guys who came along, right, when Malibu was active and everything. All these guys learned to draw from people like John Byrne and George Perez, who learned from Jack Kirby. So
Right.
it's all Jack Kirby DNA, and we still got artists doing that, right? They learn from him. You trace
Right.
it back to Jack Kirby. Well, Ross was saying, he goes, what I want is people who've never seen any of that stuff. He goes, I want artists who are drawing comic books to tell stories, but they don't know who Jack Kirby is. They don't know who George Perez is. They don't know who Jim Lee is, right? They don't have Kirby DNA. And that just kind of blew my mind. And so I think we see a lot of that.
Yes, we do. And you especially see that in the stuff that Scholastic and HarperCollins and Penguin do. And you see that a lot in the internet comics.
Right.
There's a ton of internet comics who don't have any kind of Kirby, Marvel, DC DNA in them.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I don't think that's bad. I think that's fine because it's just, I want to be exposed. Not everybody should have Kirby DNA.
Right.
And,
I agree.
And although if you do, I'm like, I'm instantly attracted. It's like the cute meat in a rom-com. It's like, okay, you're my people now.
Right.
But I love to look at people who are just drawing and just started drawing. It's like,
yeah. I do have a problem with and this is a personal problem. I get it. So I do have a problem picking up work sometime and looking at it and thinking this person doesn't know how to draw. And
it's interesting because I see that I'm more interested in they don't know how to tell a story.
Yeah.
yes.
I find some of the new this is going to sound terrible. I find some of the new artists doing this stuff are interested in just characters standing around talking.
Right.
And the action is in the word balloons. And it's like,
right.
Well, you drew 4 people standing around talking in 4 panels. No.
Right.
Have you read those Dogman books?
Even
right, Dogman, yeah.
And there's like flip pages where you got to interact with it. It's really creative.
Yeah. So
for being odd, in terms of drawing style, it's definitely a story.
Yeah.
So that's because I forgive a lot in art if the storytelling compels me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. But I think, again, it goes back to when I look at some of the, and I'm even talking about some of the book publishers, right? Some of the stuff they do. I look at these great big thick books and I'm like, who picked this, right? It's like, and maybe it was just because it was something different for them. Oh, look, this looks different. And maybe for them, it was different enough that they're like, hey, let's spend money on it. But I look at it and I'm like, the art is not that good. The storytelling is not there. I don't, the concept might be interesting. I don't know, but there's nothing about this that draws me to it. Are
you a teenage girl or a teenage boy?
I am not. And that's the thing.
Yeah. So you might be out. You could
might be where it is.
Yeah. Dana Black says, so that's why you guys don't like my book. Come on now. I know I've said good things about your stuff. I know I've seen Mike say good things about your stuff. I don't know if Roberta's seen any of it.
I haven't seen it yet, so I will check it out.
I don't know if Tom has seen
Sorry,
any
Dana,
of it. So,
I live in a bubble.
So dude, we said good things about your work. Matter of fact, I even approached you, Dana, and you said no. So
Dana just did a U.S. flag story, a couple U.S. flag stories for Blue Moon, which you ought to go check out because Blue Moon is a great indie company by Lloyd Smith.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, and Dana and J.W. Irwin, and gosh, I'm missing all these names, but these guys are putting some good comic stories.
That's
down.
Lloyd Smith. We should have him on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Dana is right there. He's done Night Spider stories for, and like I said, he just like said,
Cat and Mouse as well.
Yeah, I just did he just did a U.S. flag double feature I loved it. It was great.
Yeah. I think
I'm
that's
getting
how
that.
I
That's
think
good.
that's actually how I got to be aware of Dana. Is he tagged me? He did a cat and mouse piece and tagged me in it, and then I'm like, oh wow, look at all this stuff. Very cool.
Yeah. Now, Dana is a machine. I don't
Yes,
know
he
how
is.
he gets half of his stuff done. It's crazy. He's
Yes.
got it. Yeah.
Cool.
Pencil for Life says I suck at art. Wait, but your name is Pencil for
Right.
Life.
You might want to change your name.
Yeah. Pop says, thanks for letting me crash the show, Rolad. Appreciate you, my friend. Anytime, Pops. Dana says, thank you. And I only said that because I didn't believe in myself at that time. I feel so much different. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that, Dana, because you should. You should be making comics. That's just what my opinion is. Thank you so much, guys. Of course. Well, guys, as it always happens, a clock has just sped through. Any final thoughts from any of y'all?
Nah, I've said enough.
No, we're good.
Comics rule.
Comics rule. That's right.
That's the thing too. Comics are great. It's a great form of entertainment. They're fun to create, and it's a pain in the ass that they don't sell as well as they should.
It is,
and then they don't have the exposure and the distribution that we'd all want them to have. But
yeah,
heavy sigh.
Yeah,
I think I should make that my ringtone. It's just Roland's heavy sigh.
Yeah. All right. So okay.
Good talk, guys.
Yes, very
It
good.
is.
Always. This is all.
Glad you came back, Roberta.
Whose idea was this for the monthly one? It was probably Mike, wasn't it?
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
Mike's the one
I
bringing
like that topic.
Mike's the one bringing the heat these days. Yeah, it was a great idea, Mike. A monthly industry chat.
It was. It still is. When are we doing it again?
Is. Yeah, well, we'll do it in a month from now. So,
all right.
In fact, Tom, I moved one of them because you and I talked about a date, and I'm like, ooh, that falls on the monthly thing. Well, I'm going to move the monthly thing.
Excellent. I like to have my opinions heard, for God's sake.
All right, on Tuesday, how to write a comic arc. A panel of professional comic creators discuss tips, tricks, and fundamentals for writing a multi-issue comic arc. That is on Tuesday.
Decompress your story as much as possible.
Oh my gosh. On Wednesday is going to be the famous fun round robin of various topics for our panelists. That's the round robin on Wednesday for the Wednesday Wham. Next week, we'll be back. This will be a fun one. Tom is going to have a blast with this one. How to waste 6 pages without realizing it.
Oh my God. I've started over so many times.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I've written something, I've shown it to friends of mine, and they're like, what the hell is wrong with you?
It's like nothing happens here.
Start the story as late as possible and end it as quickly as possible.
Well, it's the famous in late, out early, right?
Yeah.
Yep. In late, out early.
And don't repeat information.
That comes from film, but it's applicable to comics.
It is.
Roberta, you have like...
I had the puppy.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, it looked like you had
I thought we were going to have to call somebody.
I didn't
I
like,
had to put the puppy.
I thought I saw little death dolls over your shoulder. I'm like, wait, Roberta, somebody's behind you. All right. Until next week, remember to make mine Silverline. Good night, everyone.
Hi, I'm Chris Olm. I'm the former editor-in-chief of Malibu Comics. Make mine Silverline.